the key differentiation, is that with DreamApply, our education customers, they don't actually need to be that technical to be able to make full advantage of DreamApply. That is a big differentiator, that we are actually building software in cooperation with universities and other education providers, so that we know what their actual needs are. The software often needs to be adapted to individual universities, but the big picture, we understand very clearly what is their goals, what are their problems, what are the solutions that work for other institutions, so we can share the knowledge and the experience. And the software itself has been built based on a cooperation with universities. So the customers don't need to be that technical to have a very meaningful discussion with our people and have a very well-tuned system without having to set up requirements, technical specifications, understanding APIs or security protocols. They can simply trust us to do a proper job of analyzing their application process, their admission process, and we will find the best solution to automate their workflow or reach any of their other strategic goals. Typically, we see two kinds of universities. For example, universities that have way too many applications, so they are looking to objectively cut down the number of applications so that they will have, let's say, 100,000 applications, but they only have 100 scholarships to offer, or only 1,000 places every year. So that means they have to tell no to a lot of people, and you want to be extra objective when you're doing that and not lose good applicants in the process. On the other hand, some universities have too little applications. They are looking to enter the marketplace or get more traction. So they have a completely opposite problem. And the tool sets for those two cases can be quite different. The university that has too many applications, he might benefit from scoring tools, ranking solutions, mass change tools, all kinds of bulk editors to handle large amounts of applications, also to automate or integrate DreamApply into other solutions. The other kind, the universities that are looking to get more traction, they might be more interested in handling individual students to the best of their ability, to be able to save time when dealing with applications, so they have more engagement with their customers, their applicants. They will be able to be more reactive than their competitors. They will be able to spend more time because they are doing less menial work. And perhaps most importantly, there are also a wide variety of marketing tools to be able to very clearly see where their money is being spent on. And there's a key differentiation, I think, whether you're spending money on clicks or you're spending money on applications. But DreamApply goes even further. You can track how much money you're spending on successful applications or even enrolled students. And that makes a world of difference if you're trying to be smart with your budget, whether you're just buying 1,000 clicks or you're buying 1,000 applications or you're buying 100 proper applications that went someplace. So this allows them to be very smart about their budgets. And in the end, they will be more competitive then. Yes, this allows them to perform better in the financial way, as well as being more towards the customer, being able to engage more closely with them and having a better relationship with their applicants. One of the aspects that often goes unnoticed when developing application systems, especially when some of our customers try to achieve them in-house, is the actual complexity of the solution required. This is even more challenging when offering an international admission solution with people all around the world, with different cultures, different languages, different ways of writing even a date. So there is a lot of complexity that starts to pile up when you're trying to do everything in-house, which is why we need to have a dedicated IT team basically doing one thing, making an excellent admission solution. And it takes both functionality as well as non-functional goals to satisfy. Functionally speaking, we need to make sure that you have all the features that you need, that the applicants have all the features that they need, because it is both the solution for the universities as well as the applicant. And we can't also forget different advisors, agents that also need their task to be completed as part of the admission process, as well as other stakeholders in the wider sense. Regulations that need to be followed, regulators that need to have access, API integrations that need to be integrated, and other kinds of solutions that the university is using that all need to click together. So that would be the functional side. The non-functional side comprises of performance concerns, for example, security concerns. Performance-wise, the main goal for us is you, as a customer, never having to notice that you have 100,000 applications in one evening. That is quite difficult to pull off technically. In our case, when the deadlines happen, and the deadlines are usually at midnight, which means that the last few minutes before midnight is quite a busy time for the system. Most applicants, for reasons unknown to me, leave their work for the last minute. That is unspoken rule in this area, and that means that instead of spreading out the database load or the queries or any other performance issues over a large period of time, we have to scale up our systems quite aggressively to meet demand in only a couple of minutes or hours. So that poses quite a lot of technical challenges to solve properly. And when the deadline is over, it's too late to start solving them now. So everything has to work perfectly before midnight. Security-wise, we are following information security management rules set up by ISO certification, which means that we have quite some limitations of what we can do, and also rules that we have to follow to ensure that all the applicant data, especially their private information concerning their passports or their education history, has to be kept secret. And we do that in a way that isolates customers from each other, first of all. As a customer, your data is never mixed with any other customer. They are completely separate, isolated, let's call them buckets. And secondly, we have rigid procedures to access your data. So everything is logged. So when somebody is, for example, accessing applicant records or doing some other operations, you will see who did what. And there are lots of other aspects to information security management that perhaps go into too much detail at the moment. But what you can be assured of is that we're doing everything by the book in that regard. So let me give you one example of how it goes from customer having an idea to actually having it in production, having a useful feature out there already. For example, recently one of our customers introduced a new idea to start assigning applications to individual administrators. We loved the idea. It was a brilliant addition to the software, and we developed it, adding a couple of more features in about 4 weeks. So that can be shorter depending on the feature. If it's a simple one to add, we can add an extra, let's call it featurette, in a couple of days, for example. Some other ideas take longer to polish, but we always maintain a list of high priority tasks that mostly have come from customer experience, their requirements that have changed over the times. And we make it a very big thing for us to service those needs first. So one of the benefits of DreamApply is that as other customers also have their improvement requests, they will all become generally available for everyone to use. So every week on a Thursday we make a release incorporating new changes in DreamApply, and some of those changes are from our own analysis. Some of those changes might be the customer's development requests, and some of them might be from other universities' ideas. So they will all become generally available, and the product is in always constant development. DreamApply is able to bring together several different departments within a typical university. For example, admissions department, marketing department, IT department, as well as the rectorate for general reporting. But specifically speaking about, for example, admissions and marketing departments, very rarely do they have a solution that allows them to work with the same data, with the same records, the same applicants, similar tools, but within the framework of one solution. So admissions people do not step on the toes of marketing people, and marketing people have all the data from admissions that they ever need. So this is one of the key benefits from the point of view of DreamApply. The IT department has their own particular set of requirements for a solution. It has to be easy to administrate, it has to be proven to be secure and well managed. We have ISO information security management certification to prove that we're doing those things by the book, and we are easy to set up. It's just a turnkey solution for all parties. There is only a need for additional setup depending on the university specific admission processes and specific requirements from the IT department as well. And in addition to that, we need to do some trainings, customer support, and all the technicalities that are usually involved in building a custom one-off software solution are no longer there. Such solutions often require years of development. They require lots of resources, a large team that would have to be prioritized on this task, and you will run into several kinds of different risky scenarios when the solution either doesn't get done in time or it fails in the middle of the application season. So those risks can be avoided with DreamApply. And in exchange, you get a platform developed combining the experience of hundreds of universities that have contributed their specific requirements, their needs, so that you can be sure that you will have all the tools that you need for your admission process. Process of incorporating your ideas into a solution like DreamApply has several steps. First of all, we work very closely with our customers, learning their needs, their understanding the way they admit applicants. And from this, sometimes we, from our own analysis, we understand that there are some things lacking in the solution that we then can suggest, or sometimes the universities propose changes to be made, which have to be analyzed by our business analysis. And this fine-tunes the actual technical requirements that can then be sent down the line to our development teams. The developers will produce a solution which is then ping-ponged back and forth with the university, as well as analysis stages. And at the end of the day, we go through a rigorous process of quality assurance in the sense of having hours worth of automated tests that run through the whole process of admission from every possible angle. And when we are seeing that all the testing is to our satisfaction, then we deploy the solution to production. And in order to reduce the number of bad surprises, we always do it in a very rigorous way, not trying to make ad hoc changes here and there, but analyze everything, process the change internally, see if we can cover several features under one, make it more logical, and at the end of the day it's going to be simply released, and you will just receive your new feature. During the process of running DreamApply for several years, we have noticed several interesting facts about how applicants behave during the admission season, how many applications are needed for one admission of one applicant, and also different ways we can improve on those statistics. So depending on the profile of the education institution, we can always offer our recommendations, what would be a reasonable expectation of implementing DreamApply, how many more applications would you get, how many more excellent students would you be able to attract, how much time will you be able to save. Those goals are individual for every university and their particular market, but in general we can say that we'll work less, you will get more applications, and you will be able to better focus on the ones that actually match your criteria. So this is the core benefit of DreamApply. On the other hand, during the admission season, you may have noticed that most applicants send all of their applications on the very last minute, and that literally is the name of the game in this sector. Our system has to be able to withstand a large amount of applications at the very end of the admission season. Many of DreamApply customers also have relations with different agents and advisors across the world. Those advisors often work independently. They need to have access to the applicant records in a limited, secure way, depending on how the university requires that. Some of them might have only access to general statistics, how many applications that have brought. Some of them are more trusted, can be also allowed to enter data, for example. But the general picture would be that the DreamApply system will allow the university to properly manage their list of advisors or agents, and also measure their effectiveness in being able to attract top quality students for the university. Particular reasons why the university IT staff is favoring DreamApply solution is that we integrate into all the various solutions that might be in use across the university and sector in general. We integrate into different kinds of marketing solutions, as well as different kinds of student information systems, CRM systems, as well as many other kinds of solutions. Also, custom solutions or university-specific systems can be integrated, as we have a specialized API that can read into any data in DreamApply and also carry out several kinds of actions on behalf of the university. So the possibilities of integration are almost endless. A further concern for the university is often a common identity provider solution that they would prefer to integrate into all of their solutions. For example, some universities have their own university account called an identity provider, and DreamApply is also able to integrate into those solutions so that your academic staff, for example, don't have to remember several different accounts and passwords. They can use the same university staff account to log into DreamApply as well seamlessly. So it becomes a natural part of the university's IT solutions ecosystem. With DreamApply, you can start collecting data already very early in the process, from the point in time where they start showing interest to a particular study program, start inserting the data into their application. During the whole time, you can have an individual conversation with every applicant as they go through the steps, or you can analyze the entire process or your entire admission season as a whole in general statistics, and can pick up on different trends even as they are starting to develop. And that allows you to very proactively build up your marketing campaigns, react to different marketing sources that are performing well, so you can invest more into those sources, and also immediately discover the sources of leads that are not performing. Either they are not bringing enough applicants, or the applicants that they are bringing are not progressing sufficiently, so you can make smarter decisions about your spending. With DreamApply, you will gain access to an array of advanced tools as well. For example, you will be able to have DreamApply scan all uploaded passport copies or ID cards for fraudulent documents or expired documents, or documents that do not match the applicant records. This allows you to have a better control of the quality of documents in your archives. Some of our customers have also requested a feature called video interviews, but it is slightly more sophisticated than regular calls with different video conferencing solutions. What DreamApply can allow you to do is set up specific scenarios with questions and time limits for every applicant, and then have the applicant self-record video sessions answering those interview questions. And at the end of the day, you can review those recordings at your own pace scrolling ahead or scrolling backwards as is required, saving the university admission people quite some valuable time in not having to set up video calls, not having to sit through them in their entirety, even when at some point it is already clear that the applicant is not going to pass the interview. So you can just do them at your own pace. One of the exciting features in DreamApply that has been added from direct customer request is what we call the director solution. It allows head of department to regulate very finely the amount of work that the admission officers are engaged in. For example, you are able to set up each individual admission officer with the amount of work that they should automatically be assigned every day. The head of department can also monitor the amount of applications that the officer is currently progressing with, how well those are moving ahead in the pipeline, and also even set up the person for a vacation ahead of time, draining their schedule just in time for their vacation to start. DreamApply will also help you set up all your documents so that they will be generated automatically for every applicant in a personalized manner, so you can set up placeholders for all the important data, and when you accept an applicant, they will get the rest of the documents or even invoices generated automatically.